YPC, Young Professional Congolese.
Three things I love about being Congolese. The first thing would be our strong sense of community. You know, in Lingala we have this saying which is biso na biso, which basically means just us. And the way I was brought up, my parents ensured that I knew a lot about the culture, and I spent a lot of time with Congolese people. So we'd always go to Congolese parties, especially in the summer. I went to a Congolese church, and they ensured that at home I always spoke Lingala. And one of the things I love about our culture is the fact that I can meet anyone else who's from Congo. As long as we can both speak Lingala, or we're both strongly rooted in our community and in our country, we have a common bond and we have a foundation. So I can speak to someone, find out they're Congolese, and then straight away we have a connection. And I think just knowing that you have this kind of worldwide link to whoever is from the same nation as yourself, I believe it's strong, and I think it's powerful.
One time I was coming back from a Bible study. I was on a train, had my Bible in my hand, and there was two guys behind me. And then as soon as I got off the train, they approached me and they said, "Oh, so you're reading your Bible?" And I said, "Yeah." And then they said, "What country are you from?" And I said, "I'm from Congo." And then immediately we started to converse in Lingala. And it's like we knew each other from 20 years ago.
I love Congolese people. I feel like they're full of energy and full of passion. I remember when I just graduated from university and I walked into a room full of Congolese people. It was actually a matanga, which is a funeral. You sort of meet up for the funeral. And my mum said, "Oh, she's just graduated." And literally everybody was like, you know, saying congratulations, Wana Biso, you've graduated, you've done us so proud. So I just love Congolese people, you know, they're just full of passion and energy.
Most of our parents came from Congo, came to the UK with absolutely nothing, and they literally worked their way through the ranks and also to put food on the table for us. With us being here and sort of being where we are, we wouldn't be here without the work ethic of our parents, and it also instills strong work ethic into us as well, and hopefully we could continue that through.
The historical facts about DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. It's the third biggest country in Africa. It's full of natural resources such as copper and zinc and industrial diamonds and gold and, you know, tin. The list is endless. It's absolutely full of historical richness. It's so huge as well. And population-wise, we're talking about 68 million people.
The same thing that is our curse and the same things that's literally depriving our country and sending us towards poverty is the same thing that's such a blessing. You know, the world trade and certain technology can literally fall apart if the Congolese community and leaders just literally stopped any exports. And the fact that we have that power, even though we're not aware of it and we can't yet harness it, the fact that we have it, I think is absolutely beautiful.
I was born in Congo and I came here when I was 4. So just knowing that I'm from a place that has natural resources, amazing resources, just makes me really proud. Congo's not in a perfect state at the moment. It's quite a dangerous place, especially for women. But everything else about the Congo, the people, the food, the resources, you know, I'm very proud of being from Congo.
Anyone who knows me knows I absolutely love my food. Mikate, pondu, shakamadesu, makayabu, taba, all of that I absolutely love. And the food sort of really comes strong at Congolese parties as well, and at home on a daily basis.
I love eating, I love cooking, I'm absolutely obsessed with food. My favourite Congolese dish is pondu and loso. My mum makes the best.
Apparently, we've got a good reputation in Africa for being one of the best dancers. Something to do with the hips.
I absolutely love our music. It brings me great joy, especially when I hear the guitar strings. I think anytime you hear Congolese music, the guitar, the drums, like, if you're not dancing, then there's definitely something wrong.
I haven't been in employment for too long, but after I finished at university, probably 6-7 months ago now, when I was interviewing for different jobs, I had a lot of interviews, and as soon as I said that I was Congolese, there was always almost a negative connotation attached to it because of the war, because of the poverty in our country, and I felt that right off the bat, I almost had to overcome that to show that the poverty back in Congo doesn't necessarily affect our performance here in the UK, and that we're sort of really trying to represent the Congolese community here.
I went to Christ the King Primary School, then I went to St. Aloysius Catholic College in Archway, Islington, and whilst there I got a lot of support in terms of the faculty, the teachers there. There was a lot of French-speaking teachers which kind of helped bridge the language barriers per se with my parents and the teachers. So that kind of support was invaluable. And then moving on, going to university, much more help as well in terms of, you know, structuring CVs, essay writing workshops, all the typical kind of workshops that a university would kind of put on for their students. I benefited from that, and it kind of helped me get to where I am today.
I was born in Congo and I came here at a very young age, and I couldn't speak English. I had no idea about the English culture. The only languages I could speak was Lingala and a bit of French. And when I started primary school, I couldn't communicate with anyone. So whenever a teacher would speak to me, I couldn't understand. I used to have incidents where I'd see boys talking one another, looking at me and laughing, and I always just assumed that they were laughing at me and they were just throwing comments at me, which was really disturbing and distracting towards my education. But what was a real blessing was my first teacher spoke French. So we were able to communicate, and I was able to learn English from her. And she literally just kind of molded me and allowed me to kind of grasp this new culture that I was surrounded in, and actually learn the language and learn how the people were, which made life, especially in school, a lot easier for me.
When I first started university, I was studying drama and business, but after a year of doing it, I didn't really enjoy it, so I wanted to change my course. But then I wasn't sure whether it would be a waste of a year, or I should just drop out of uni, or just change my course. So I asked for advice from various people, and some people said, you know, you haven't got a year to waste, it's going to cost you more money, and you know, you shouldn't change your course. But I decided to go with my gut feeling anyway, and I decided to study events and venue management. While I was studying it, I also looked into what kind of jobs I could do, and realised that actually you really need more experience rather than the education side of it. So I decided to do some volunteering, which went on for about 2 years. I really enjoyed it, but it was really difficult financially, because obviously I was working a lot and not actually getting paid. But I decided to carry on and just sacrifice those 2 years. And I feel like it's really paid off in terms of my education and actually having experience. And I'm not saying everyone should volunteer for 2 years, but I'm just saying sometimes it takes sacrifices to get to where you need to get to in life.
Having a network like this would benefit me because I get to be identified with professionals who are of like mind. We get to share expertise, contacts, networks, experiences. So it's more about the network itself, just having to meet new people who are from your country, which I don't really get to meet quite often. And so meeting them in a professional context, I think networks like this would facilitate that.
Having this kind of network allows me to meet more Congolese people and introduce myself to the culture. The one thing I'm always fearful of is us losing our cultural ties. So I think by having this kind of network, it allows us to be entangled with our people, allows us to communicate with one another, and it allows us to keep ourselves at base with where we're from.
Having a network with people who are like-minded and all about positivity and motivation and personal development is actually one of the keys to developing yourself and achieving your goals. So I think it's really important for especially Congolese, young Congolese people to join this network and have a positive network around them to support them in helping them develop themselves and achieve their goals.
I think that it's massively important because if you look in the Congolese community, there's potentially not one role model that all the young people can look up to. So hopefully having the YPC would mean that, you know what, it's not all about one person, it's about a collective of young professionals who are in the UK, who are also proud to be Congolese, and who are not afraid to sort of stand up for what they believe in, and hopefully it will give the young people, the sort of second generation of Congolese people, something to look up to, something to hopefully strive to be like, and also give them focus, determination and motivation in their working and educational lives.
Having a network like this would actually help the younger generation have something tangible that they can aspire to. We hear a lot about how young people these days, it's hard, unemployment levels skyrocketing and XYZ, but there's something about having an active role model in a young person's life, and so where they can have, a bunch of young Congolese professionals who speak the language, talk English at the same time, who, are actually doing all right for themselves. I think that would be such a huge impact for the Congolese community.
YPC, Young Professional Congolese.